All right, here it is. That screencast-o-matic I promised earlier regarding our first staff meeting scheduled for August 22nd at 1 o'clock in the cafeteria. Let's see here. I'm putting it in the cafeteria because I want everybody to go, obviously. Associates, you are paid on August 21st, and so if you, that's a district-wide day for all of our associates that are being added. But if you want to come on the 22nd, that'd be great too. But let me go through this. I've broken up the agendas, and I'm going to do this for every staff meeting. I'm going to break it into management issues and educational issues. And so we'll always try to hit the educational issues first, and because I feel the management stuff needs to be known, but could possibly be communicated through email or through screencast-o-matic. So I think what I'll do is I'll start with the management type stuff, and then just know that we will hit the educational stuff more in our meetings. So some of this may pertain to everybody and some not. Just know that if you are not a certified teacher, then you got to punch in and punch out, and nothing new this year. If there is a mistake or a mispunch or something, you've got to email me. That's somewhat new. Colleen can fix it, but it's got to come from me. Jeans only and on a limited basis. That was one of the collective bargaining type things that we went through. So we're going to stick to that. I'm going to throw in no shorts too, because shorts were a discussion. Now I always want people to be, for example, Mr. Andreessen, if he's going to be painting on Thursday and he has painting jeans or something, I certainly want the dress to meet the needs of what you're doing. I know Miss Sears is in PE and never wears jeans, but just know that the jeans on Friday for the majority of the staff, and on a very limited basis. Copies, we really had a lot of conversation about this administratively. There is in excess of copying going on. You'd be shocked at how much paper has been used in different classrooms. There will be a limit. I believe the limit is going to be 2,500 per classroom, which in my estimation is a lot. So if you need help in how taking something that you're doing and turning it more interactive and less pieces of paper, let me know. I think not only is it a huge a huge amount of money, but also resources. And I think kids get tired of all the endless paper. So with that also in mind, print to the office printer, but then copy. Use it as a copier machine, because if you send something down to the office printer and there's 50 of them, say, that's a lot more expensive than just printing one and copying it 50 times. I know that sounds odd, but that is the way it's set up. So please, plan ahead, print what you need to print, but be economical about it if you could, please. Again, I'm more than happy to help you if you need help with that. Communication, this is always something I'm working on, trying to be more proactive with communication at all times, or at least I try to be. I do want to work with providing that purpose behind my decisions. Something I've been trying to work with. And if you ever feel like you're out of the loop or there's lack of communication and that stuff, just ask me, because never assume that I intentionally left anybody out, because that's never the case. Now sometimes things might not pertain to you. With that in mind, another thing I try to be mindful of is consistency. However, in my philosophy, I think our philosophy is to help students and to educate students. And so staying consistent, or the perception of being consistent, can be difficult. So I can't treat every staff member and every issue with staff the same. I don't treat my own kids the very same. And again, with students, regardless of the issue, the ultimate goal is to help teach them. And so if, but again, feel free to ask. We had a staff fund, and then we don't anymore. So regarding the staff fund, we need to talk about that as a building. I don't think I want to take our first staff meeting to do it. But just sort of that idea of, I remember last year we talked about, breaking the staff into 3 different groups, and they're highlighted right here. Potlucks, you're not providing the food, but you're just sort of coming up with the idea. Clipper family topics, these are all open to debate or conversations, but so if each chunk of staff takes one of these every 3 months, so my group may, for the first 3 months, be in charge of potluck. The second 3 months we are in charge of the celebrations. In the last 3 months, my group would be maybe part of the sympathy/emergencies that things come up, providing food for. We talked about that. I think we're good to go with that. I kind of see this as sort of sharing that responsibility and kind of getting everybody involved as best as we can, and not relying on the same people. Lunch duty, that duty sheet has been shared and with everybody's schedule, so if you could take a look at that. I do see we're going to double up our lunch duty this year, so the specialist teachers will help me out, plus myself / Kelsey Kofany. She's our social worker. Social worker. I also know that Miss Allen is also going to help with the 4th grade, so she'll be in there a little bit for those behavior students. So I think we're going to be staffed well. The key, though, would be please be on time picking up your students. We got a little lax last year, and sometimes those 3 and 4 minute can be interminable. So, to say the least. So we're trying to get kids in and out. We're trying to keep the lunch efficient, and part of that lunchroom expectations will come through our PBIS work. Let's see some of these things. Speaking of PBIS, really working on that PBIS implementation, that second step. Again, we're here to teach our students, but I do know that routine and structure, our students will thrive. And if without it, they'll make up their own, and we all know that. I am highlighting this year's 4th grade. They have been growing in numbers. They've been growing in needs, and their own little personalities and quirks are coming out. And I think they're going to really benefit from structure and routine provided through PBIS and just a building-wide, not just the 4th grade. I don't want to single them out, but they will be our neediest group, and so we're really going to look at that and how we are doing business and how we are educating our students and reinforcing those behaviors, etc. Some kind of a day one, students are going to arrive. They're going to go to the cafeteria. Nothing new there. We're going to dismiss to the playground. Hopefully it's not raining. 8:45. That's a little early than what we usually do, but it'll be 8:45, 8:50. Miss Prusha is going to escort the K3s, and me and Mr. Berkland, me/Mr. Berkland. If I'm not available, Mr. Berkland will be there, and then Mrs. Prusha will be the day-to-day morning recessors. Of course, that first couple days, if more hands, the better. And teachers can. I'm going to ask that all the teachers come to the playground and walk their students to the class. And I'm thinking right at 8 o'clock. Be at those doors at 8 o'clock. Walk your students to the classroom. I think it doesn't have to be church quiet type, but I think orderly and structured, and get them in the process of expected behavior through the hallways, and then in time we can then relinquish some of those duties. Obviously the 5th grade may not need it as long as the kindergarten, but it will only take 1 minute out of our day, and I think we had so many issues pertaining to behavior and issues in the hallway and lining up and everything like that, and then carried into the classroom, and I'm hoping that a more calm and consistent presence will help with that. We'll meet out at the flagpole, and we'll do I'll say hi to everybody. We'll do the We Are Amana. We'll do the Pledge of Allegiance, and we'll get back onto our regular scheduled day. It's an early out. We'll have the early out special schedule. We'll do that for Friday as well, the early out specials. I put together our website, not our website, just sort of a go-to website, and I really like, I can add to it. Remember, again, these are the pages up here. We're going to the schedule, team meeting notes. we get to a team meeting, we start looking around for where we had our notes and what we talked about. Well, they're all right here now. We've got our at-risk students and our special ed, special education, staff collections, data collection. I just think everything is right there, and I can add to this very simply. Again, I'm hoping you bookmark this page and just click on it when we need something instead of trying to hunt through my Google Docs, and that's where I found myself. Just know that we do have a master schedule, and I'm certainly not opposed to changing things as needed, but just know there's a real delicate balance when one thing gets changed. And also when we start putting your classroom schedules together, please be mindful of, and this is a good transition into the educational side, please be mindful of our at-risk and our special ed and our behavior. Inform each other, get input from each other, collaborate with each other. I think that's kind of my big push this year for all of us. We've got the tools and we've got the structure, and I think we do a phenomenal job, but I just think sometimes we just assume people know, or we catch each other in the hallway or something like that. And I think with the SDI pilot that we took on last year, specially designed instruction, I think that will really highlight and give purposeful direction to our students, our student needs, and how we're going to meet those student needs. So again, in my opinion, my non-negotiables go back to the learning and effort. There will always be learning, and we accept only our best effort. And if either of those two things aren't being met, then together we're going to figure it out. So back to that educational side, this is kind of where I hope to build the meat of our time together next Wednesday. It will be longer than usual. I don't want to waste anybody's time, but just know I do have an activity. I do want to get some feedback at the end. But it really struck me earlier this summer that it's nice. We're not trying to reinvent anything, just trying to strengthen our foundation. That came out of a conversation I had with Mrs. Ryman, who we will be sharing this year. And so we really want to look at how we're using her time and her skills. And I think having that Wednesday data day every other week, where we're looking at the student information. Mr. Berkland's available, I'm available, Kelsey's going to be available, and I believe Casey's going to be available, so we'll have everybody we need. We've had a lot of discussions this summer with administration. We're also going to look at our data as an admin team and look at progress over time, and we're going to be looking at helping each other help our teachers and our students. And I'm really looking forward to that. I think that's going to be very helpful and very great for me personally to get more involved in that. I highlighted this one because when we start talking about students, we're gonna talk about where we want them to be. Obviously, we're going to use our data to talk about where they're at, but I think we're gonna define where we want them to be and then identify that plan together. And again, that's behaviorally, academic, social, emotional. I think between PBIS, our curriculum, and our phenomenal teaching staff, I'm really excited. We've got really the people we hired are amazing, and I just cannot wait to start working with those people. And I think that's it. And such an area of focus for me, I see, is to be able to give genuine feedback. I know this is a goal for me every year. And I keep looking at it and I keep working on it, and it's something I've discussed with my admin team and Brian Williams and then even Tim. I want to be able to give you all accurate feedback and really good coaching questions, at the very least to get me involved more. I think I have a great relationship with kids and students and staff and everything, but I want to be more active in the learning and all that fun stuff. So this is my screencast-o-matic. We're going to meet as a staff. I'm sure other things will come up. Let me know if you have questions, comments, concerns, but I'm really looking forward to the school year, and I'm going to send this out. Thank you all very much.